Hey, 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 it is November 17th. Yeah, November 17th, Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the West Coast. I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps, where, as always, as a collective of small business owner, in particular martial arts school owners, we're really in the process, in the habit of cultivating the skill set we need to create the life that makes us happy. That's why my mantra is what? Live your best life. Not mine, not what somebody, some guru or mentor wants to advise you on, but your best life. And I'm passionate about that because the only one who's got to live it is me. So the person who needs to understand me is me. The person who needs to see clearly what that version of success is me. So I'm really, really passionate about that. We just finished It's Time Live Balance, and that's what today is all about. I was there for 4 days. I facilitated, I taught, I was able to witness and learn from Dave Kovar, Terri Lee, the upstart Aadam Lodhi of Dojo Launch, soon to be called Kin Creative. And it's just a wonderful thing. And of course, to teach something is to learn it twice. So when I have the opportunity to do that, I'm not a huge advocate of going bigger. I'm a huge advocate of going deeper. And as you go deeper, like Jason Smith at Believe Martial Arts, he doesn't have any more students than he did a year ago, but he's producing more revenue. So when we can do that and add that value, what we're doing with Jason, which I know he sees, we're cultivating the infrastructure, right? You just don't plant seeds and all of a sudden you have walnut trees. So often I think what hurts the small business owner is they plant these seeds and they want results right away. And it just doesn't happen that way. The farmer mentality, I rototill the ground. Do I have crop yet? No. I'm fertilize it, pull the weeds, make nice little rows. Do I have, crop yet? No. I plant seeds, I cover it, I water it. Do I have crop yet? No. I have a sapling, it sprouts up. Do I have crop yet? No. I mean, for a walnut tree, it takes 7 years. And I use that analogy all the time because I watch people out of their lack of business experience, their lack of maturity, they impatiently make very bad decisions and they give up 5 minutes before the miracle. And in Jason's case, we've planted all the seeds. We've rebranded it. He's got a great brand, Believe Martial Arts. He has great curriculum with a whole system of striping to train his staff, everything. It's all there. And now he's cultivating the culture. And he's making more money. The school hasn't physically grown at maybe the number he thought, but he's making more money. And he's been able to quit his day job. And he just earned a black belt in Kempo, which I think on a human level, right, for his own personal self-esteem and self-confidence, he will now go deliver Kenpo at a whole new level. The confidence he has to say, yes, I am a black belt in Kenpo karate. And that is important because what did they sell us in the franchise mentality? You don't need a black belt. You can learn this stuff as you go along, blah, blah, blah. You can get somebody else to teach. I believe for us and our culture, there is a huge disconnect in that. So I truly believe Jason's going to deliver his version of Kenpo uh, at a whole nother level. I believe that. I truly believe that. And so I believe all the pieces are in place. So it's kind of like one of those things, right? You have a bad round kick. You're training, you're training. Some days you feel like you're getting worse, right? And then all of a sudden you go to kick that bag or you throw it in a match and that kick is like magic, right? It flows like butter because you got to do that type of work. You got to do that type of work. And I really believe that if you can adopt that mindset and have the discipline habit to go with it, you will methodically achieve your version of success. Simply jumping ship because it's not working today is not a good day. Think how many days. I mean, my business is established. There's ups and downs, highs and lows financially. If I quit every time I had a dip in business and start over, man, I'd never get to where I want to be. So for me, that's a huge mindset that I cultivate. So I applaud Jason. Hey, what's up, Conrad? What's up, Karth? Those of you coming aboard, please say hello. Tell us that you're here. We love to see who's hanging out with us at Success Never Sleeps. I was working with a guy today, and he's been watching my show for years. And I went to his Facebook page, and he's got the cotton canning machine. He's got all these things for use. And I went, wow. So it's neat to know that. But I like to know when you're here hanging out watching. Don't be shy. Stand up and be counted. Conrad's here from Respect Martial Arts. Karth is here from Arkansas. Oh, I see Facebook user with a hello. Fix that. because if you're talking to potential clients and things like that, you don't want that Facebook logo to represent your brand. Ah, it's Monique, Miss Monique. There should be a karate for girls in there or your face, always. So when it pops up like that, um, I would encourage you to make sure your brand is there. And the branding being there is a good thing, but looking at Karth, you got to size that logo properly, right? So, I mean, little things like that, are important to me. If you go look at One Martial Arts, it's sized appropriately. Brannon Beliso, it's a picture of me. Totally, two totally different things. And I've seen people do that. Mish, same thing. Mish, your face should be in that shot. See, look at that. That's got the Facebook logo with some freaking silhouette. It should have your logo or your face in it. Please fix that. Now, the reason I say that again is because I see a lot of school owners take their martial arts logo from their school and put it on their personal profile page. I would not do that. I would not do that. Keep it separate and market it that way because it's kind of like a lazy way of marketing, buckshot. So I don't encourage that at all. My martial arts page has the One Martial Arts logo. My business page has a picture of Brannon, so forth. Are you with me? Are you with me? So great. I'm going to thank my sponsors, sponsors of It's Time Live Balance, as well as sponsors of the show. Tusaw, we had a great dinner with Gunny Kang and Terri Lee and Aadam Lodhi, and it was just magical. It was just magical. And the young upstart, you guys, the first thing he pointed out later to me is that Gunny was wearing $100,000 watch. See, those things go by me because it's that kind of thing's not even on my radar. But I went, oh, really? Great. There you go. What we focus on expands. And as I work with my young team, I'm going to be ever mindful of that to make sure that we're only rooted in purpose and money as a byproduct of that passionate. Market Muscle, Stephen Reinstein and the gang, I will always refer them. Good days, bad days, like any relationship. Sometimes Stephen and the gang are on point. Other days they're going to miss. But I can always guarantee you their heart is in the right place. And sometimes timing is not there. And I've learned that. Timing is not always there. What we want to happen, when we want to happen, is just not realistic some days. And like John Lennon said, life is something that happens while you're busy making other plans. And I believe what creates the most level of frustration and challenges in people's lives is when they don't have the ability to do that. Why is it taking so long? I don't want to sit in traffic. I'm not there yet, right? And so all of that creates a blinders come into play and you don't see things clearly. Sometimes that setback is what's going to propel you forward. So again, think about that. My studio, Two is giving me a tour of their new facility. They just moved into offices. They're now up to 100 employees, and that's amazing. Most of them are, I believe, in India because they're coders, but they're growing the team. They're doing the infrastructure work that I recommend to, the gang over at Kin and any school, right? You want to get there right now, but you don't have the infrastructure. You don't have the curriculum videos. You don't have the systems in place. You don't have a leadership program, to grow your team, all of that. And so if you start scaling quickly and none of those things are in place, then you're stressed out. You're constantly putting out fires. So to have the wisdom and vision and patience that goes with methodically building the infrastructure of your business so that you can not scale and monetize it, but be prepared for that growth. That's super important for me. And that's doing the work, right? That's doing the work. So they have that attitude. You don't have to know to go, right? And that's okay too. There was a woman who opened an organic, all gluten free pizza parlor in New York, and now it's chains everywhere. I think they're even in Vegas. So she stated that you don't have to know to go. I didn't know anything about pizza making or any of that, but I understood that in New York, there are a lot of single people and they all ate pizza. So I just gave them a niche, gluten free, all the rest. That's not always the case, especially if you're trying to build a legacy business, a business you want to have a long time. If you can forego the instant gratification, take your time. I always ask that. If you're not bleeding out, if the rent is paid and you have food in your belly, then let's do the real work. Let's write the position agreements. Let's write the job descriptions. Let's do a business plan you never. Sorry about that, Mark. Is that me, Marco, or is that on your end? Let me check that. Nope, I'm on Lenny YB. Hope my Wi Fi stays solid. Sorry about that, folks. Hmm. And of course, kids love life skills. If you're not using our character development system, you need to. These products I cultivate, I can't tell you how many people ask me, where do you get the dots? Well, we produce them at Kids Love Life Skills because we saw the need. I'm not going to line up a class and hold people's shoulders, stand here, stand here, stand here. We have dots laid out strategically, and we simply say, what? On a dot in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The belt stripes, again, were another product we developed because electrical tape sucks. Those of you using electrical tape, stop it. Stop it now. You hear me? So put in the comments, do you use electrical tape? Just want to check. Marco, are we good? Are we good? Just want to make sure our signal's clear and we're good to go there, Marco. And so things like that, because I watch schools still use electrical tape. If you're using electrical tape, shame on you. That is a lack of detail, right? They work so hard, they earn this tip. Then you sit there with a roll of tape and a pair of scissors cutting electrical tape. How anticlimactic is that? Stop it. Get the belt stripes now. Go to kidslovelifeskills.com. We're good now? Okay. Everybody good? We're good. We're good. And so things like that, the products I create are to help the number one source of revenue that we generate, which is tuition. Make no mistake, the most money we make is through tuition. So my resources and focus are on everything, but I really spend a lot of time with curriculum development, staff development, investing into that, because that is where we're going to make our most money. And it affords us the luxury of not having sibling discounts. It affords us the strategy to increase our tuition every year, cost of living tuition increase of 4%. We live and die by it. We live and die because we believe in what we do. And everything revolves around that. We won't schedule another event or this or that if it's going to compromise delivering our core product, which is martial arts instructions and life skills. Cool? So I want you to really, 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 really think about that. So today we're going to go deep on the golden nuggets, the different takeaways I had from It's Time Live Balance. I think that's really, really important. Hey, Bob. What's up, Bob Poole from Gold Martial Arts? So we had Dave Kovar there. We had Terri Lee, who has 800 students, Sunnyvale Martial Arts. She's been around since the 90s. And this woman has 800 students. Affords her an amazing living and retirement, and now to pass it on to her sons. Dave Kovar, he's been doing it since the 70s, successfully. And he's still out there impacting schools all over the world to be better instructors. Aadam, the group at Kin, I got a chance to really hang out with them. And I've already announced it at It's Time Live Balance, and I'll do the same here. I am now part of Kin Creative. We do Facebook ads, Instagram, Google. We're doing everything we can in the digital media realm to help position your brand to scale and monetize it. But you have to do it responsibly through storytelling, through authentic, customized scripts and B-rolls based upon your school. No more stock photos. Stop being lazy. Do you think Apple would do that? No. Apple would hire a photographer. Do you think Disney does that? Just pull some stock photo off the internet and bite copy from another martial arts school? No. Control that narrative. Your story is so, 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 so important. And in the world of white noise and all the distractions out there at social media, you want to offer yourself the opportunity to tell a story that makes you unique. And that's why recently, when Steven Reinstein said, do an about page, do an instructor's page, somebody shot at him. It's bullshit. Has nothing to do with sales. And I sang the same song, right? Nobody cares I'm a 9th-degree black belt. Nobody cares I'm a second-generation martial arts school learners. They may not. But if you're trying to position your school to stand out above the white noise, you should at least offer yourself every opportunity possible. And so we actively are going to update our about page, and we're actively going to put our instructors page in there. Make it solid. One more thing, one more reason, Google reviews, all the different things to position you to give that buyer, or as I say, the potential relationship, the opportunity to choose you. Cool? And going to Google, if I ask you to take out your phone right now and Google the best Chinese restaurant in your neighborhood, you're going to do it at Google. You simply are. Are you going to go to your Yelp app? No. You will go to Google first. So making sure your Google page is active, up to date, posting pictures regularly, getting reviews, and having a website that is native to Google, that is coded properly. so that the Google algorithms go, hey, we like this website. You do some Ricky, what do they call it? Rickety website you did in Rickety Wiki, right? You do that stuff, Google's going to frown on it. If you haven't touched your website in decades, Google's going to frown upon it. It's a static website. It's not dynamic. So see all the things that are going on here. For me, it's real important that I, as the visionary, I, as the architect of the business, understand all the moving parts, all the moving parts. And that's real important. If you want me to share one thing that I got from everybody being there, they all understand their businesses really, really well. So my big takeaway from Dave Kovar was making sure at the end of class, you not only share what they learned today and that they should go practice it, pre-frame them for the next class. Give them a reason to want to come back to the next class, right? And a great way to end class is dodgeball. Sure, it's fun. I want to come back and play dodgeball again. They're kids. They're not coming back there to be enlightened. So to finish with dodgeball makes sense, right? But I want to make sure when I wrap up that class, I make it clear this is what we learned, this is what we practice. And if you go home and practice next class, I look forward to everybody earning their next stripe. You with me? So I got that from Dave. That was a really, really big one. And I think with Dave Kovar also, it's to lead by example. He is the living, breathing example of a successful martial arts school owner. He trains, he constantly learns. He's the instructor's instructor. He's out there teaching other people how to teach better. He has a very clear vision, of what that looks like, right? And so he's able to replicate that again and again and again and again. And so I think that's really, really powerful to witness that. The insecurity that comes with a martial arts school owner that never trains, that's out of shape, emotionally, physically, mentally, is not a good day. It's not. How are you going to rally the troops? How are you going to get them behind you if you're not leading by example? So Dave really drilled that, and just his love of the martial arts. It just reminds me why I do it. If you step on that mat and you begrudgingly teach a class, right? You've created this job for yourself and you're a terrible boss. That's not a good thing. It's just not. Hey, Letitia, my sister Letitia's here. She needs to put her face in there. You guys without pictures and stuff associated with your profile, fix it. Fix it. Or does it just show up that way at StreamYard, Marco? Let me know. I don't want to be like ragging at people that have a profile picture just not showing up here. But Letitia earned her black belt, which I think as a bookkeeper is even more credible. She understands you, right? And I believe it makes her work more effective. So that's what I got out of Dave Kovar. Terri Lee, she's really old school in the capacity of how she runs her business. She didn't need multiple businesses. She just went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. She has no Facebook ads, anything like that. 800 students, right? Now, if you've been in the community 40 years and you have 100 students, I think you're running a poor business. But you've been in community 40 years and you're running, think it's a stream thing. Okay, good. As long as it's a stream thing and your picture is visible anytime you talk to somebody or that's cool. And I think with Terri, is she went deeper and deeper and deeper. So to have 800 students all the time, give or take 20 or 30, is powerful. Not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people. So there was a lot of clues there. But you know what the biggest one was? Look for things that need to be fixed. Write it down. That's Terri's big thing. She's always looking for what needs to be fixed in her business, which is totally a humble mindset. Instead of sitting there with ego, riding on her laurels of this is the way we do it, this is the way it's always been done, she realizes that attitude, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, there's a lot of things broken unless we have the mindset to pay attention. We won't even know it needs to be fixed because we're still riding on the laurels of the nostalgia of some tournament I competed in, right? And a lot of people know that, but Lorenzo tends to harp on that. I was the best fighter back in the days of my junior teen, early, black belt years. For 20 years I was. And someone quoted that, who's the best point fighter ever? And who does Lorenzo say? Brannon Beliso. I don't even talk about it because it's irrelevant today to what I do. And could you imagine how that would derail my focus and my daily tasks if all I did was sit there and reminisce about what I did, 30, 40 years ago? What the hell? So for me, it's really important to look for things that are broken. right? Terry could easily sit on her laurels and go, man, we're at 800 students. This machine works. It's fine. But no, now she's transitioning into her son taking over. How do we change the dynamics of that and keep the integrity of the business? Always, always. So that Kaizen theory to me is more in line instead of fixing it, constant improvement. I think it's more positive, it's engaging. But I get what Terry's saying, right? It comes out the same. When the day's done, it's the same action, the same intent. So instead of saying we fix it, use the Kaizen theory, constant improvement, constant improvement in every aspect of your business, right down to that toilet. If I go into your bathroom and you got a leaky toilet, it's dirty, you don't have a baby changing table, your toilet seat moves side to side, I have a huge issue with that. I walked into San Francisco and there was a freaking sign in one of the bathrooms that goes something like, you know, dance 3 times, say a Hail Mary, and jiggle the toilet, flush her, press it down, and sing a song. I said to Michelle, I said, what's going on here? Well, it's not really working right. I said, then call a plumber. That is not Disney experience. I don't want to come in here, and pee and have to write a thesis in the process. And she looked at me like, what? See, but doesn't that make sense to you? Tell me, doesn't it make sense to you? So something as basic as that, you don't sit there and spend your energy writing a damn sign with step 1, step 2, step 3 to flush a toilet. No, you fix it promptly, right away, immediately. You with me? So that's important. That's real important for me is something basic as the upkeep. Because if you're missing details like that, then the big vision work of overhauling your curriculum or creating a university within your business to train people on so they can see clear path of advancement will never be there. Never. And that's why when I work with a new client, one of the first things I tell them to do, go into your bathroom and shoot a video. I want to see your bathroom first. And they're like, what? I want to see your bathroom because that lets me know how much you pay attention to detail. You with me? You with me? So Terry Lee was just amazing in that capacity. Very, very, not old school. I would just say very, very traditional when it comes to running a business. Very methodical with intent. The other thing I got from Terry that we're going to implement, t-shirts. She gives away lots of t-shirts. And maybe she said, that's why I don't need to do advertising. There's not a single person that comes into my business or sees us that can't say to us, oh, I saw your t-shirt somewhere. Everybody has seen their t-shirt somewhere. Now, I'm still sitting on the fence about lots of different colors because I want the brand to be consistent, but she'll do a t-shirt for camp. She'll do a t-shirt for, maybe I don't know, a fundraiser they're doing, like a kickathon. She'll do a t-shirt for lots of things. And every time they're always giving out t-shirts. Always. So when you take an intro, and I thought that one was one of my big takeaways, they automatically give the kid a t-shirt. Well, it's cost me $8-9 to do that, maybe 10. Come on, do the math. Even whether they sign up or not, there's potential that kid might wear the t-shirt outside. 2, the parent's going to go, no, we're not signing up yet. Why are you giving my kid a t-shirt? Well, we want them to feel like part of the team today. I think that's brilliant because no kid's going to come to your school wearing a t-shirt. So to be able to put a t-shirt on them and they feel like they're part of the family right away when they go into the class on the first day, that's just brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And we know once they get enrolled, a lot of kids like to wear t-shirts instead of the cumbersome uniform when they're taking class. So it's just such a win-win. For what? For what? A wholesale price of $10 with silkscreen or 11 or wherever it is. The bottom line is that kid will wear that t-shirt outside. And could you imagine that kid going home in the t-shirt and the parent thinking and humming and hawing about whether they're going to sign up or not? And this kid's just walking around proud with the t-shirt on. So I went through all of that because I'm a huge advocate of humanism. Humanism, the human experience. That's really it, creating the human experience. And anybody who came to It's Time Life Balance, tell me on a human level, that is not an amazing experience. We eat really, really good. We learn together and we keep the group at 20 because that critical mass, 20 is it to create the best experience possible. We won't move it to a hotel. We won't go for $99 and go for, volume. We stay with the discipline. See, that's an example of going deeper. Yes, over the years, we have raised the price of the It's Time Live experience, especially with all the restaurants we eat in. Absolutely. The cost of restaurants has, gone up 30, 40%. They automatically put in a tip. They do all this weird stuff that was never there before. So logically, we need to raise, the tuition for It's Time Live. We do it. We do it every year. And it makes sense. But we make sure that we add more value than what they possibly could pay for. You with me? So if you charge $250 in your school, you better get $500 worth of value and nobody will bat an eye. So guess what? We're going to start giving t-shirts in all of our intros. Maybe not for kickboxing because, they're in their cool workout outfit, whatever they want to do that night. But I know for a kid, we do it at birthday parties. And just that moment when we highlight and spotlight that kid and put the t-shirt on him, it is magic. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What if, stay with me now, we don't do it when they arrive? But see, at the end of all of our classes, we applaud the child for coming in and taking a trial that day, and we give them a best job badge. What would that look like if we put a t-shirt on them first in front of the whole class? Then we took the best job badge and affixed it to the t-shirt. Anybody? What do you think? Better to do it before in the waiting area when they first arrive? I just thought, in the moment that might be a little awkward, too forward. But now that I have this other solution, put it in the comments. Which one do you think would resonate more? Just saying, hi, welcome to One Martial Arts. You ready to get in class? We got a gift for you. Here's this t-shirt so you feel part of the team and just to welcome you, right? That's one way. Or at the end of class, we want to thank little Susie for taking her first class of the day. We know that takes a lot of courage, so we want to reward you for your effort. First of all, we want to give you this One Martial Arts t-shirt. Boom. We hope you choose to be part of the family. And second, here's this best job badge. Which one do you like better? Put it in the comments. Anybody? Come on. Give me some love. Give me some love. Okay, Mish likes the t-shirt first. Okay. Ooh, hey, you earn the t-shirt after class. That's kind of cool too, right? You want to say for getting in here today and making their best effort because that fits our culture. We are learn to earn. That's what we say about Kids Love Life Skills. We talk about that all the time. We have Learn Week and then we have Earn Week. So you want to say for getting in here and learning something new today and participating, you've earned a One Martial Arts t-shirt. I love that too. I love that too. Is it too much work to give them a choice? I like that too, Conrad. I think, again, because it's their first day and the environment is so new, it's not a choice they may be able to adequately make, right? It's like going to a new restaurant, Conrad, and we don't know what to eat. So what's the first thing we do? We ask the waiter, what's good to eat here? So I think when you post that question, Conrad, that's the first thing that hit my head was, well, they don't know us well enough to make a good choice. Anybody with me on that? Yes, earn the shirt. Both will work well. Yeah, I think so, Karth. Both will work well. I would go with the shirt first to set the tone. Sure. Some kids are shy, so use your best shirt. Yeah, I mean, see, you know, just make a choice, run with it. If it doesn't work, I'm curious to see how many more people convert because you give them a t-shirt. I really am. So we're going to get more t-shirts, of course, and then I'm going to implement that as a system. Every new trial that comes to the door will get a t-shirt, and I'll propose it to my team. Do you believe you want to give it right away when they arrive, or do you want to give it at the end of class as something they've earned? And I'll see what the team says. And will we try both? Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we try both. Conrad, maybe you're going to try, the option, right? And then give us some feedback on one of the shows. Cool. And that's what this is all about, folks. That's what we did at It's Time Live. We learned together. We cried together. We ate together. We hugged it out. We had accountability partners. But my goal is to get you to think because it's whose life? Your life. Whose business is it? Your business. And when you're just a minion blindly following gurus and systems and buying up programs that may or may not fit your culture because someone tells you it's going to make you money. Someone's going to tell you they're the expert and you're not. That is not the earmark of a great leader or a great business. But make no mistake, I'm constantly learning. And as you saw, you know, I'm going to make sure at the end of the classes, pre-framing them for success for the next class. I'm going to implement the t-shirts and I'm going to live by example on. And I'm going to fix things, look for things that need to be fixed and go after them. That's vision work. That's what Terry does, right? White belt is earned. Yeah, the white belts do and not get in when they come in. Yeah, we don't make people earn white belts. White belts are just part of the uniform. See, and I'm going to tell you why. Here we go. Some people say by making them earn the white belt, you're setting the tone. All right. But I say they have to earn their first belt. Then they get into, oh, I earned my belt. The thing is, the white belt's in the bag. You pull it out and move it away. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I want, everybody else has a belt in class. How come I don't? See, so to me, for us, I did it. It's not like I didn't do it. I just felt it was kind of like putting me on the field, but I don't get a jersey yet. Throwing me into the game, but I don't have the full uniform. So the white belt for us became passe. We weighed out both sides and decided that earning the white belt wasn't as important as having them feel part of the family because we are one. But we're very passionate about them earning that first belt. What's Sensei Mish saying? Pop it up for me because I can't read that thing on the side. Okay. We give out a shirt along with the uniform when a student signs up. So giving a shirt at the free lesson doesn't lose us any money if they convert. There you go, Sensei Mish. But when Terri Lee told me that 800 students, no marketing, she doesn't have to market. That blows my mind. And she said if she had to put her finger on it, she said, we give t-shirts for everything. Everything, everything, everything. So I'm going to do that. When we do Toys for Tots, guess what? You bring in a toy, you get a t-shirt. Everything that we do, I want to tie in that t-shirt all the time because the more people are wearing your t-shirts, the better for your business, right? And if I can reward people for one warm coat, that's a big one. Bring in 3 bags of coat, we'll give you a t-shirt. Come to the mom and me party, we'll give you a t-shirt, mom. Come to the dad and me party, we'll give you a t-shirt, dad. On and on and on. I was in there a couple of days ago and this dad's wearing our hoodie and I gave him a fist bump and said, right on, dad. Right? Freaking on. But are they going to go out of their way and buy it? Not unless they're really zealous, right? Not unless they're a real fanatic for your business. I don't see very many parents going out of their way to buy a hoodie to wear in my business. But if it's given to them and it's warm and it's good, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. So again, that low barrier of entry, by giving that kid the t-shirt, they might be more likely to sign up. I like it. So try it before when they arrive, try it at the end as a reward, and give me your feedback, right? What else is added in there? I can't read that, Marco. What's the last one? Okay, if you are using the best job patch, I would give the t-shirt in the beginning to feel comfortable and earn the patch at the end. Sure, absolutely. There's another, but see, that's the cool thing. All I want you to do is freaking think for yourself, make a decision. And if it doesn't work, pivot and adapt, right? Right? I'm very challenged when someone says, Brannon Beliso said, no, 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 no. I took in information, I interpret it for myself, and I believe in our culture. This is what we do, and here's why. There you go. I mean, there you go. Right? All day, every day. So that was my big thing with Terri Lee. Now, with Aadam, I think the big thing with Aadam and the guys at Dojo Launch, which is now Kin Creative, I announced it there and I'll announce it here. I am an advisor for Kin Creative. I'm a brand ambassador for Kin Creative, and I'm part of the team. I didn't just sit there and spew sales rhetoric. I'm in there writing scripts with them. I'm in there shooting B-rolls with them. I'm in there laying the infrastructure of their company, right? From their organizational chart to their purpose statement, to their core values, to their brand absolutes, to their SOPs, all of it, all of it. Because we won't be able to scale and monetize. We're building this business on what? This rigid, rickety foundation. It's going to collapse at some point. Won't happen with us. And again, I fell in love. I'd never seen the team face to face, and they were out here. And one of the things Aadam said, when he was talking, that he became by default this digital media guy to help save his parents' businesses. That's it. That's it. And what love is that? My parents' martial arts schools are dying in the pandemic, and I'm going to do everything I can to save him. So to instill that type of culture that working with any partner, how cool is that? Imagine working with Kin Creative and they're looking you like their parents' business. And that's all I've been dwelling on because I do believe we'll do better work. That's why no stock photos. We will not give you stock photos. Never, never, ever. But it's not cost effective to fly an entire team to your location and shoot. So I told them that. So I challenged them, let's produce an ad shot from my iPhone. So we came up with a great script. And that thing, I saw it the other day. Tell me you're not going to throw up. Where the instructor's walking through the school. Do I have those type of videos? Yes, I do. But I think it's lame. I get it. They want to show motion, action. It's a reel. I'm moving. Look at me. I'm walking through my school talking to you because, I'm just so. And I saw one the other day and it was just so boring. It fell on deaf ears. I was like, okay. So I did one of those because they told me to. And then we shot a bunch of kickboxing footage. And I did it all on my iPhone. But I was a film major in school with a music minor. So I have a very keen eye for composition, making a still shot look like a lot of action. I have a photo at Google. Go look at it. I have one photo that's been viewed like 50,000 times on our Google business page. That's very cool. So again, I'm going to challenge you on that. When you're shooting photos, when you're taking B-rolls to post at your social media, that you're extremely mindful of the composition and the content in it. So they gave me the first version of this thing and it was predominantly me talking with quick cutaways to the women working out. And I said, film major, not a lot of continuity there. So here's what I want to do. I want you to take me out and only use my voice as an overdub while we show these cuts of the women working out. Why? That is the product they're buying. They're buying this workout. Show them what they're going to do. Show them, all of it. Show it to them. And it's very unheard of. Most Facebook ads have a performance level of 2 weeks. 2 weeks. This one ad we produced for kickboxing last night, I had 5 trials for kickboxing in Millbrae. What the heck? Right? This ad has been performing since May and we're in November. But it took taking a chance. It took a creative risk, as I say, right? And so it's voiceover with all footage, right? Go look for it. I'll try to find it later and post it. And we were just like, oh, wow. And so again, I believe that has legs. If I can get an ad to last all those months, wow. Wow. So we're creating a lot of creative stuff, but I want to make it one cost effective because it's a great business. You don't want to burn through all that. If you're not making money, then why are you in business? 2, it'll empower the school owner to be a storyteller. But how do we dish that out? Well, I'm not going to tell you that yet because there's probably other digital media companies right now going, what else can we bite? I did that one, invest in your child's future, right? That was one Kin and I came up with collectively. Everybody in the martial arts industry, I've seen it everywhere in some form or another. Again, don't try to reinvent don't try to reinvent the wheel or the car, just learn to drive it better. Bullshit. This is your story. This is your life. This is what you do. And I applaud people like Virginia at Journey Martial Arts. It's her story. It's her journey. And people think she's a franchise, right? Believe martial arts. It's your story. It's your heart and soul. You just have to learn to tell it well. And if you're going to filter it through somebody's standard Facebook ad and a stock photo, you will lose, you will lose, you will lose because it's watered down. You're not getting the essence. So you better become a great writer. Better. Stop using ChatGPT, you lazy mo. All right. I'm going to call you that. You're lazy. You're freaking lazy. Why? Because you're insecure? I'm not a good writer? You're a business owner. You need to be a good writer. Become a good writer. I wasn't. I learned to become a good writer. That is why I have the #1 blog when you Google martial arts. And I tell you this because you guys are boasting, hey man, look, I got a whole book. You didn't write that book. You let ChatGPT write that book. You notice all of a sudden, who's with me on this? Who have seen a huge influx of martial arts school learners who've written books? Put it in there. Go. Hey, professor, sorry I'm late. I was catching my team on It's Time Live. Thank you, Jason. Now you must do 50 push-ups for being late to class. If you are getting okay, think about it. How all of a sudden, how many you're seeing this huge influx of martial arts school owners who's written books? Anybody? Okay, I've written one too, but the point I'm trying to share, and I cannot verify it, so please don't quote it as lore. ChatGPT comes onto the scene 6 months, a year ago. All of a sudden, there's a big influx of books coming in. Is there a parallel there that maybe they asked ChatGPT, fed it a bunch of stuff about them, their school, their name, their favorite subjects, da 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 da, and they let ChatGPT write this book? Maybe, maybe, maybe. But again, you need to become a great writer. If you're terrible at business, become great at business. If you're terrible at budgeting, become great at budgeting. Because everything you're weak at will compromise the integrity of your business. You, as a small business owner, need to become great. Mish. What did Mish say? No, necessarily. I mean, but there are side hustles. Yeah. Yep. Thank you. But yeah, not necessarily martial arts or cooking or anything. Sure, absolutely. ChatGPT does not necessarily write better. No, it doesn't, Karth. It doesn't. And guess what? You know, I believe the reason I have the number one blog in martial arts is because the Google algorithms can go right in there and know that it's not ChatGPT. They can absolutely know that. You know for a fact that Google knows when it's a ChatGPT generated article, right? And you post it as your blog with your name on it. You know that, right? Right? Just like they're developing software for these college professors to know you wrote this whole paper on ChatGPT. So you don't think the Google algorithms know that you're using some AI generated blog and you're simply using it to have, a dynamic website so you can drive more traffic to it? Google knows that. Google knows that. So I don't recommend it. And painstakingly, one of the things I recommend to all my clients, and at It's Time, I give them a blank journal. First thing I say is write. Write, write, write. Well, I'm terrible at writing. That's the problem. You sit down and look at that paper and think you need to write a soliloquy or write Harry Potter. No, you don't. I've had journal entries where I wake up, F you, F you, F you, F you, F you, F. That's it. I just want it out. I want it on paper, no matter what it is. The habit of writing is really what we're discussing here. So if you don't have it, get a journal and write. And that's just the beginning with Kin. The final night, I took these guys and went for a drive into the city. And I'll tell them I'm in love with these kids. They're good kids. Their heart's in the right place. And this company was born out of what? Helping save their parents' failing business. If there's not any more love than that, then I don't know what to say. And now they're on the verge of opening their third location in a matter of 3 years. Wow. Wow. So, everybody that we work with, our mantra is family above all. You will become part of this family and we'll do everything for you as he did for his parents to create something amazing. But again, as I shared with them, say no. If the school doesn't have the budget and they're not ready, it's no different than saying no to our own kids, right? It's no different than that. Sometimes you have to say no because we make these great ads for you. We produce these great ads and your intro process isn't up to par. Your bathrooms are dirty, right? Your culture isn't in tune. It doesn't matter how great the ads are. If anything, it's going to bring distrust. You hear me say it all the time. If I want to put a bad restaurant out of business, give them great marketing. You with me? So that's the other thing we're going to move on. And that's where I come in. I not only can help them lay the infrastructure of this company based upon culture, values and purpose, I can help you rebrand your school. I can help you with your intro process. I can help you with designing your curriculum. I can help you with position agreements because I know how to do all of those things well. But it's so funny. People walk around, who designed that for you? I did. Who wrote that? I did. And I don't say that with ego. It's a lot of freaking work. You know how many systems I wrote that suck? Tons. Just like as a songwriter. You know how many songs I wrote that sucked? For every 50 songs, I had one hit in there. But you need to write those other 49 to get that hit. Just write the damn systems. Don't worry if they're good or bad. Just keep at it. But as long as you live from that Kaizen theory, you'll get better. I used to make flyers. Okay, I mean, this is how old I am. Stay with me. There was a time we didn't have Canva. We didn't have Photoshop. We didn't have any of that. I made flyers for my band and my first martial arts school with press-on letters. I know, sounds archaic, right? So I would take a piece of paper and the letter said A, so many A's, and that was a bitch. When you ran out of A's, when you're writing, you're trying to make this ad, and B's and C's, you can get different time, and you took a popsicle stick, position it on the paper, and then rub the letter onto the paper. Now, if you messed up, you had to start over. You couldn't scrape the letter off the paper. So the ability to really vision this thing out and sketch it before I ever put the first letter onto that paper and used the popsicle stick and rubbed it down took a lot of thought. And that's why I think I'm valuable when it comes to the creative aspect of cultivating a brand. Logos, I worked with Focus Martial Arts. Journey, I didn't design those logos, but I had influence. Much like Steve Jobs couldn't code or anything like that, but it was that vision, that thing, just that thing. That's what I have, that thing. But no, Zach Conley did he do Respect? I know he did Journey. He did Believe. He's done a couple of things. So when Zach was doing that type of work in the industry, give credit where credit is due, right? But I am that vision. I'm definitely that vision. So to sit there and stand toe to toe with Brock, because I was a film major, I can do that all day long. I'm a writer. Give me some bullshit copy, I'll rip it apart. But I'll always do it with the intent to fit your brand and make it better. So I think it's really important in that education that we cover that. What are some of the comments? Can you post some of them? Let me just. Wow, that takes patience. It does, Karth, but my love for my brand, Marco, it was called Letraset. Super time consuming. It was. But you know what? Every letter I pressed down on that piece of paper, I had to see the end result. The end result. You know why? Because if you didn't, you got to the end, you had to start over. Much like when I would record, I had a 4-track recorder in my little recording studio. Now, some songs had 24 tracks, 24 different parts I needed to record. So you know how it went? It went like this. Lay the kick drum, lay the snare, lay the bass. Take all 3 of those tracks, mix them, knowing I'm adding all these other instruments, and then bounce it down to the 4th track. Then I had 3 new tracks. Then I would do this one, and they take this one, and the drum track and bounce it over. So I really learned to do that. So when I work with school owners, they're looking at me like, you're crazy. No, I'm thinking 10 years down the road. I'm thinking 3 years down the road, right? I want you to behave. You want 300 students and you have 50 today? You need to behave like a school with 500 students to get to 300 students more efficiently. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And that's why people walked into our one location and swore we were a brand. We were a franchise because the way we behaved, the way we delivered, the way we executed. Cool? So it's the same thing here. So with Kin, that's what we're going to do. And I believe that is why, except Logitech cameras. Help me. Let me see if I can fix this. Is that better? Nope. I'll live with it. And so that is why, you guys, for me, that kickboxing ad has had such a long shelf life. I don't want to write an ad based upon metrics that say the average Facebook ad will last 2 weeks. Yeah, if some damn stock photo and some GP, I can't even say it anymore, Chat GP generated copy. So the minute those algorithms get smart and they see it, boom, performance drops instantly. Instantly. It only takes a while for those algorithms to move through the World Wide Web and see that your ad is stock photos and your photos have been featured in 1,000 other ads. So again, I believe one of the reasons that ad is still performing well, and we're still mining the data from that ad to see if there's a system there. If there's a system in there somewhere, at least I can tell you that ad shot on an iPhone is still performing really well. We had 5 intros last night for kickboxing in Millbrae. Blows my mind, but it doesn't. It doesn't, because I was the guy with the letter set, laying the first letter down, knowing this is what it's going to look like because I don't want to screw it up. And that's the problem with digital. Okay. I'm going to tell you this. This is the whole problem with the whole digital. I know I'm off on a little bit of a tangent, but I want you to stay with me on this. You with me? Give me a thumbs up. Tell me you're with me. Okay. The thing about that creative thought process that is eliminated today is because you don't have to see vision like that. Letraset forced me to see the whole thing. I could see what the end result was going to look like in this flyer because I couldn't afford to make those type of spacing mistakes or the wrong size letter or whatever the case may be, because that's what we were given. That's what we were given. So it's the same thing here. You just look in your phone and you get instant answers. That is not big picture work. That is not vision work long term. You with me? You with me? So I'm ever mindful of that. Everybody saw the new wall with the TV and all that. I visioned that out. That was my concept. I had laid it out every which way, because once that TV was up on the wall, I don't want that to come down. Once the bulletin board's in place, once the pro shop was up, we didn't want to take it down. So I had to take the wall, the size of the wall, measure what TV I wanted there, measure the bulletin board. Everything was measured based upon how much space I'm working with on this wall. And you don't think I put that TV over here and over here, over here, over here, over here? Of course, now when I have the luxury of Canva, I laid it out every which way. And I asked people, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? All of that was done. All of it was done to get the results we had. And that wall is beautiful. Everybody saw, wow, that's a great improvement. Every parent, wow, that's a great improvement. Right. You love the new wall, right, Jason? But I had thought it out. And then I went back, like any great hit song. Most great hit songs I wrote in 5 minutes. Then I spent 2, 3 weeks playing it country, playing it fast, playing it slow, singing it like this, sometimes to go full circle back to what I wrote in 5 minutes. You with me? So that is big picture thinking. That is visionary thinking. That is a level 5 leader thinking. And if you can do that, you're going to save yourself a lot of pain and suffering, because we know we're going to lose money in our business. We're going to make some bonehead move, get a program, hire a digital marketer, whatever, and it's not going to work. And when that happens, you pivot and adapt. No big deal. It's part of the game. I use Steph Curry as my analogy. 43% he makes shots. That means the other 57% of the time he misses. No big deal. Just another day at the office. So if you want to make money, you better be ready to lose money, because it will happen. It will. And Sam On, I want to talk about him now too as well. Sam On talked a lot about wealth building, a lot about wealth building. And he talked about owning a home. We all think our home is an asset, and he showed why it wasn't. Fundamentally, he bought his house, let's say hypothetically, $300,000. Today, 10 years later, the home is worth $500,000. Did he make $200,000? No. Look at all the interest paid over 10 years. Look at property tax paid over 10 years. Look at all the maintenance paid over 10 years. Look at the homeowner's insurance paid over 10 years. And when you add all of that up compared to what you think is $2,000 in equity, he was actually negative. Everybody get that? Tell me you do. So that's a prime example. That's a prime example. And then looking at the stock market, he says most people want to keep money in the bank for a rainy day. That bank takes your money, charges you an annual fee to put your money there, and then loans it out at what? 8% right now? So they make money. Sure, you can go online and get an electronic bank account and make, I think it's 2 to 3%. Used to be 3 to 4%. But the bottom line is 10 years ago, Apple was $18. Right now, it's up around 189. Do the math. You bought 100 shares of Apple at $18. How much money would you have made today at 189? Do the math, right? That's what, roughly $162 times 100. What's $162 times 100, right? Yeah. So there you go. And that's why he said clearly, some people are meant to get rich, some are not. That's it. And if you look at predominantly, most of the people in the stock market are not mom and pop investors. They are rich people. Rich people. And Sam is a multimillionaire making the money he does because he saw 30 years ago that I could make more money in the stock market than I could owning a martial arts school. but he loves his martial arts school. He goes in and teaches every day. He has like 120 students or something. But make no mistake, he saves more than he spends. And what he saves, he puts in some type of revenue stream that has compound interest. You leave money sitting in the bank. Why? It doesn't make you money. And you could have an account right now at Robinhood where you can electronically transfer 10 grand out, invest it wisely, make money, and then transfer it back as needed into your account. The problem is you don't trust it. Why? Because you're not educated. I spend every day in the market, every day, every day. And what you don't know, you can learn. So somebody says, this is a hot new happening stock. I study the company. Who's the structure? Who's the players? What are their quarterly earnings? On and on and on. You at least got to do a little bit of that. You can just sit there blindly listen to anybody and don't listen to the media. That's the worst person. You're going to listen to this guy Kramer at MSNBC. Who owns that station? I mean, this is going deep, but I want you to know why Sam says this, right? You got Fox and CNN. Who owns that? Fox is Murdoch, rich people. So they can control the narrative in the stock market. And some guru says, buy this stock. They drive it up. They sell it before you wake up. You get up the next morning. What you bought yesterday isn't worth squat. So you want to be really mindful of that and to be in tune with the market. If that's the way you choose to go, fine. So those are, different things like that. And it's not impossible. There was a school owner there who has been working with Sam 7, 8 years, who makes, I don't know, 100 plus students. And he's well over the high six figures in his portfolio. There was a guy there that started out with 30,000 that 8 years later has 2.1 million, 2.1 million in his portfolio. And he has a couple of small schools opening a third. So it's not impossible. But the bottom line is if you make more than you spend, you're in a good place. You spend more than you make, then you're in debt. No credit card debt. Tell me you have no credit card debt. It's wasted money. And some interest rates right now are 28%. Other than my home, because it was such an expensive investment, I don't have any debt. I have no credit card debt. Our discipline, we pay our credit cards in full every month. And my credit cards are in the excess of 50,000 every month. Every month. One credit card for San Francisco, one credit card for Millbrae, and my personal expenses. And now my Brannon Beliso brand with its time. They get paid in full every month. There's no discussion. I will cut somewhere else. There's no discussion. See, but rich people get rich, not wasting money. Rich people get rich by finding ways to cut their expenses so they have more to save to put in the stock market. You with me? Are you with me? So these are some of the things we learned at It's Time Life Balance. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. One day was training on the mat to be a better instructor. Day 2 was all business. Day 3 was personal development. And day 4 was wealth building. Very well rounded. And I know all the attendees got a lot out of it. We ate so good. We ate so good. Plus my wife's, I call them famous chocolate chip cookies, and they are. They are. I give my heart and soul. I love everybody who was there. It was great to see Conrad, and the usuals, Marco, Jason, Monique. It was great to make a lot of new friends with the guys from Kin, Andrew, Ed, Armand, Svetlana from the UK. Sal was there. I got to meet his wife. I could go on. Noah was there. I know I'm not naming everybody, so please forgive me on that. Jeremy White. Jeremy, another great person I met from Motivate Martial Arts. Just on and on. On and on. If I'm forgetting someone's name, please forgive me. And then to test my sister and Jason, I haven't said a lot because my sister said, aren't you going to cry or give me a hug? I was overwhelmed. I've never tested, other than my son, I've never tested anybody. And I was very proud of my sister, Letitia. She worked hard. It wasn't the easiest test for her. It took 6 hours to get through that test. But I wasn't going to leave anybody behind. And they had to do everything proficiently to a level that I, as a seasoned martial artist, would be proud to put my John Hancock and promote them to black belt. And I will say publicly, Jason and Letitia are black belts in our version of Kenpo. I am proud of both of them. So to my sister Letitia, I was crying the whole thing. The whole test, I was crying inside because I was celebrating you. I was celebrating your effort, 51 years or not. Forget that. Just celebrating you as a person, Letitia, for who you've become. and to get to share life with you every day. And you know, you've helped and saved my business through the pandemic. And every day you go to bat for me because I know we're a family business. Letitia has my back. And she'll tell anybody that. If you think I'm looking out for Brannon first, you got it. So you want to come to the plate and negotiate or play with me? I will always look out for my brother first. And to have that, I thank God every day. So that's why I didn't cry at her test. I cried on my own. I was overwhelmed by the whole experience. And I just try to be very stoic. I went into autopilot, just promote, take pictures. I went that way. I did. I really did, right? I did because I was overwhelmed. So I didn't know what direction to take. So Tish, that's why when she goes, aren't you going to cry or give me a hug? No, I must be professor right now, autopilot, because I'm overwhelmed. I'm not sure what to do here. And that's what that was. And I say that, with a sense of authenticity and humility and vulnerability. So don't hold it against me, okay, folks? So what do we got coming up? Marco, let's share. We have first our It's Time group mentoring. Now I've decided to resurrect that, okay? And you'll get to watch this later, because a lot of people cannot afford wisdom, and I don't simply want to say no and close the door on all of that great learning. So we're going to do It's Time live group mentoring. You got a slide for that, Marco? You got it, Marco? Where is it? We're going to do It's Time live group mentoring. See, that's when you segue right into the slide, Marco. It's Time live group mentoring. Oh man, we're still waiting. So, anyways, maybe he'll get that photo up. What'll be different about it, it's a 12-month mentoring program where you'll watch an e-learning video. You'll answer all. Wait, Marco's talking. I said, what the hell, Marco? Let's see. We are good now. Can't find it. What the hell? What the hell, Marco? That's okay. I can find it, but I'm not going to do that right now because the show's running over. So, but what's different is you'll watch a video. You'll do the worksheets that come with it, but you'll have accountability partners. We have Miss Monique. She's coming aboard, Jason Smith, and Marco. Three people I love and have worked with for years that have done great work in their own businesses, but they're like you. And that's super important. So you have an accountability partner keeping you on track on a weekly basis. Then I personally will come aboard at the end of each month and we will do a Zoom together and we'll rock that thing. And believe me, anything that Marco, Jason, and Monique can't give you a real answer on, they will bring to me in real time so you get an answer within 24 hours. That's important because to scale some, oh, there it is. Look at that. Look at that great picture. So there we are. Look at those handsome people. So it's Time Live group mentoring. We're going to rock it. We're going to rock it. And I think that's the big piece that was missing is I wasn't confident with who I would bring aboard to work that. And I want to applaud Miss Monique because she's an all-woman school. And I think it's something that should be considered for all the women out there opening a martial arts school. She has kids, but they're all girls. The safety that comes in for her was growing up in an all-man martial arts school, and she felt a huge disconnect, even though it was her father's school. So maybe a lot of other women will be inspired to open a women's only school. Think about that. So that's our It's Time group mentoring, and that's going to be happening in January. So if you're interested in that, DM me. We'll put you on the list. And as we tighten things up, we're resurrecting the page. I already have the learning components. Just I'm integrating Marco, Monique, and Jason into that. It's going to be something really cool. And again, added value. It's added value, right? By having those three come aboard. We also have It's Time Live Canada. Yep, I posted that. We're going to be out there in May. We're coming up to Canada, Toronto, Canada specifically. And I'm going to do an It's Time Live in Canada. People have asked for that for years and years. And now I have a really reason to go because of, the guys at King Creative. So we'll be doing that in May. And then, of course, next November, what do we have? It's Time Live. And each one is themed. The last one we just finished was balance. This one will be purpose. It's Time Live, purpose. And again, only 20 school owners. We will not go bigger than that. We will not go bigger than that to keep the intimacy of that group and the impact it has. It's only 20 people. So when you look for the investment, it's not $99 and bring your whole team. It is not one of those events, folks. It is a very, very, very high end 4 day retreat. And we keep raising the bar. And I think we did that this time, not only with the food, but with the content we create, with the people I bring aboard. You know, I think I want to make Dave Kovar a staple, and I'm going to challenge him to raise the bar next November. Absolutely. I'm going to bring Sam back, and I'm going to challenge him. His presentation this time was light years above what he presented 2 years ago for us. And so he's understanding that in his work of working with people, he's got to constantly improve. And he did that as well. So as soon as we get those dates, if you plan on coming, please make that investment now, because the discipline is once those 20 spots are filled, we are done. Because here's another one of the reasons. When we go to a restaurant, we go with 20 people, we can get a really nice high-end restaurant. You walk in there with 40, 50 people, really like the one we went to, La Colina, right? That Italian place. They will not take 40 or 50 of us. Will not happen. So again, that's one of the strategies. We want these tight, intimate dinners. Super tight. You with me? So it's Time Life Purpose. I'm going to post that date really soon. And when you do, if you plan on coming, please pay for it and sign up now. Now. You got me? And that's really important when we do this. Other than that, just want to say I love you. You know, when I said goodbye to the guys at Kin, I'm normally the first one to say I love you. And I'm very passionate about that because I never heard that from my mom and dad. And it's not some I'm victim and I'm all jacked up because of it. I think it's important to see and acknowledge people on a human level, no matter who we work with. And what was ironic, talk about learning quickly. All the guys at Kin, when they hugged me, they said, "We love you. You're part of our family now," before I could tell them. And I think that's magic. And those kind of buses don't stop by every day, right? And when they do, to be present, to be balanced, to recognize the quality of a relationship, you'll understand if that relationship is there, the rest of it will get there. We will write the systems. We will define your brand. We will do all of it to get to where you want to be to create your version of success. Cool. All right. So let's thank our sponsors: Tucson, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids of Life Skills, LC Accounting. I use all of these services. I recommend them to everybody, including my own clients. If you're not, you should. They're all wonderful businesses. They are all purpose-driven businesses, and they are truly making an impact in the community. And next month, you will see Kin Creative added into that mix. These are all brands I use, not simply endorse as a brand ambassador, and I'm proud to say that, right? People come at me all the time to endorse their products, and I don't. I'm going to tell you, I got a lot of books sent to me asking me to blindly record a video after reading it and giving them a testimonial. I am not going to do that. And I'm sorry if you're upset at me for not doing that. I need to believe. So let me finish reading the book and make my own personal assessment. But to sit there and say, "Hey, read my book. And, if you like it, give me a testimonial." Just send me the book. Not because you want a testimonial. Send it to me because you really believe in your work. And if I choose to read it, I will. And if I don't, that's my choice as well. Cool? I'm Brannon Beliso. Thank you so much, Marco, for holding down the fort. This is Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, what are you going to go out there and do? Live your best life.